Gabriel says, yeah, you are right. I also had a very bad problem with that. Recruiters want you to have X years of experience in tech, but you have X years in tech Y, and both techs are busy. Yeah, I know. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's like, this is the thing. There's always going to be like some question they'll throw up at you, and it's unknowable and unprovable. And it's asked from the perspective of people who are can't-do people. They always see like little things like this as insurmountable. Here's what I've observed, okay? For some jobs in this world, especially the jobs that are professions, right? They're highly regulated. You have to be licensed to do that job. Like medicine is one, right? In a lot of countries, engineering. You have to be a licensed professional engineer to design a bridge that they build and hope doesn't fall down, right? They don't just let anyone design a bridge, because if it falls down, it kills everybody, right? Just like a doctor, you don't just let anyone who talks a good game do surgery on you. You need people that have been vetted and approved and licensed, right? So for those jobs, the only thing that matters is, are you licensed? Do you have a license in good standing with the profession or the industry association? For all other jobs that are not licensed, it's a little bit more malleable. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you are smart and you are trainable and you have a lot of the constituent skills, but maybe not everything, you can probably move into that job and kick ass and outperform. All this crap about like, oh, if you've got 10 years of experience, but you've got 12 years of experience, you should do better at that. It's like, no, not necessarily. I've said in previous live streams, when I was in university, I was trying to find peer-reviewed backup for some of those principles, and I couldn't find it. Maybe it does exist, but I couldn't find it. Like, have they actually done like a proper scientific study on this? And they concluded that, like, yes, it is correlated with how employees perform. Like, let me ask you a question. If this whole years of experience thing were true, wouldn't that get rid of ageism? Why are they not hiring older employees, but yet at the same time they care about years of experience? Like that's yet another contradiction to the reasoning behind like recruitment and selection as it's practiced today. There's like a ton of these, like overqualified is another one. Like, we want people that can bring something to the role and that can, the most qualified person will get the job, but and you don't want to be overqualified. It's like, well, which is it, right? So there's a lot of contradictions like this, and I don't blame a lot of job seekers for having all these weird questions, because recruiters have convinced them that these principles that they're thinking are like real, and they're not. For some jobs, having young people that have a lot of creativity and a lot of energy, they outperform. They outperform older people, like me. Some jobs are like that. In other jobs, you just need people that are experienced. You can't do it when you're 20. That's why you don't see a lot of 21-year-old CEOs for Fortune 500 companies. It takes a few years to really learn how things are done and why, and develop the attitude to make the right decisions. This more mature, more conservative attitude to make a lot of sound decisions. But HR, they misinterpret this. They sort of try and do everything at once. They'll say like, okay, years of experience are important, but then they'll say, well, you don't want to be overqualified. So, they completely misapply a lot of these. So the bottom line is that it's just a crapshoot. It really is. It's a statistical probability. Just like investment. When you invest in something, all you look at is risk and return. What are you likely to get back, and what are the odds of it happening, right? Because you have no control over how that turns out. In the same way that when you apply for a job and you go to a job interview, you have no real control over like whether they see your value or not. You don't know what you're walking into, so all you do is you do your best, and then you move on. And the way to win at that game is you go to a lot of interviews. So you have a lot of chances, a lot of rolls of the dice, and you just try and make the best case for yourself that you can. It's like a quality and a quantity approach, right? That's how you win at the posted job market. In the hidden job market, it's about like who's the most personable, and if you can meet with a hiring manager and talk shop with them and get along with them, that's pretty much all you need to do. This process has so many people convinced that they're not talented, they're not skilled, they're not valuable. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of recruiters, directly or indirectly, have them convinced that they have no value. And if you're between jobs, you might be feeling this tall. The reality is that you're quite capable. There's a lot of things you can do. You have a lot of value. It's this illusion that you don't have any, right? And it doesn't help when you get asked stupid questions like this and you get evaluated in this like ridiculous way. You know what I mean? In all fairness to recruiters, the problem that they have is that they have one vacancy and you got many people applying for it. If you got 500 people applying for one job, 499 have to go away with a no. Now, it's not that there was anything wrong with those 499 people. They could all have been perfectly qualified to do the job. And you don't know what their selection process was. Sometimes they just proverbial throw a dice because they're talking to all these people that could do the job. And a lot of them are very personable and very professional. So you're not eliminated for cause. It's just that they can only give it to one person. So it's almost like a random, roll of the dice, whether you get it or not. But when people get a no, they get rejected, they infer that, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm no good. And that's not the case. And you can't start thinking like that because it's an illusion. You are valuable. You can help.